let's see here. Ah, damn it! Come on. I'm reading. I was reading fan fiction up till now, so.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can hear the music, but yeah. So and then I just pull up a window. There we go. And then I just follow the chat as it happens to the left here. Usually it's not Alright, gonna minimize that and just move it over. I never have it in full size screen. So let's just try that again. Open up. And
Discord, for whatever reason, is making it super blurry on my end to viewing your stuff.
interesting.
I mean, I have a basic idea of what you're doing, but it's showing me like super blurry right now.
Right. Well, let me just hop on to Discord. I'll see how's it
Blah, 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 blah.
how's it going. Sorry, my English. It's putsy right now. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, your testing footage right now is showing that you have no signal.
That is because I don't have I haven't moved this over yet. So that's my Streamlabs stuff, so I'm just gonna move that down, probably like right over here.
Okay, so what I would recommend, rather than having to move your windows around, if you you can create, like as I said, you can create different cards, like things, like how I have here it says Switch. I have Among Us, and I have them connected for different things. So what I would recommend is that you create separate ones for your like World of Warcraft, and then your other one for like your capture card, so you can do that.
Right.
So you don't have to constantly move your windows. If you do want to keep just, because you can also copy and paste and then just switch out the actual source. So let's say you wanted to do like here, like for my Switch. So let's say I want to use the same setup, but I want to switch out the game to be something on the computer. I just hit duplicate, and then let's say I want to do Sea of Thieves, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna hit OK, and now it's highlighted. So now I'm currently on the Sea of Thieves, and then all I have to do is just switch out my capture device to do the Sea of Thieves, and then here I can just then after I'm like, okay, I don't want this. I don't need the commission info for my Sea of Thieves one, so I'm gonna remove it and stuff like that. You know, I can remove all the things that I don't want, or I can just hide it with the eyeballs. And then let's say I want to go back to do my regular Switch stuff. Now I can just go back and hit Switch, and now everything is here set up. So you can duplicate the same thing rather than having to set up that entire like stage background of yours without having to do that every single time. You just have to simply copy it, create a duplicate, and then just switch out the actual source of the game that you're currently doing.
Okay.
So I would recommend doing something like that rather than having to just have one title card and then constantly move everything back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because also, if you, I mean, the other option that you could do, so like right here, it says HDMI, right? I can just minimize that, and then I can hit add a new source. So let's say I'm trying to display my capture as my second source. So I'm going to hit like add source, and now this is what it is. And then I can just move that in place to where I want it. Because this is basically your layers. So now I have this set up like with the source. So if you don't want to create an extra title card, you can do that. So now I can go back and forth. So I'm going to go minimize my display capture, then put back my HDMI. Everything remained the same. Did not have to move the window down or about. So I'd recommend doing something like that, so you're not sitting there readjusting every single time.
Right.
And then it's also always important to make sure on your settings that you're doing it to the best of your abilities of your computer that match it. And then like you can see like your output and stuff like that. You can see your disable things, enable things, see your scale your videos and stuff like that. So I do everything based off my monitor size. And then for my output, I just do basic 1080. Usually, if you have any issues with that, the best go-to, at least when you're starting off as a streamer, is to do 720. That's like the best like starting wise. And then like for FPS, maybe start anywhere between 30 and 60.
Okay.
So do something like that. Make sure your settings are all like to the best of your ability and what your computer can do. So make sure you know like the capability of you know what it can do.
I mean, I have
we can also
fucking powerful computers. What I have.
Okay, then you should be
it's
fine.
an
I just would
alien
recommend
it's an
trying something at
Alienware,
720
so
at the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, I just say I recommend to 720 in the beginning, and then as you progress, as you get higher in your follower count and more of the gameplay
Mm-hmm.
aspect, then really start pushing that
Right.
to like 1080. Like I can technically go higher on my computer, but I just decide to max it at 1080 just so it's
Right.
easier on other people. So then like people who come into my streams don't struggle, since most people nowadays have 1080
Right.
on like their computer devices as the default rather than 720.
Right.
So, but 720 is always the safer option to start off as, and then later on push it. But I wouldn't really recommend really pushing out anything. It's not like you're showing people how to do photography, anything like that. You know, this is mostly gameplay.
Right.
You know, especially if you're playing like games that aren't really the highest of quality, I guess. That
Yeah,
where it's not the
graphical
matter.
intensive games, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I like look here. Like, let's say I jump into WoW, right? Which it's
Mm-hmm.
open. I'm just gonna hop in and I'll show you like how it's. What do I want to say? Like the frames per second on just my computer itself. So, mind you, this is retail and everything's set to ultra. So if we go here, I have 95 frames per second. Mind you,
Mm-hmm.
WoW isn't a super like graphical intensive game, but to do that while it's live is pretty. It's not bad. That's really good. Might as well just get this quest while I'm doing
What's the
this.
status of our supplies? I want to get out
And then
into the
other
water
things
as
to
soon
like
as we
is
can.
just
Time's
looking at like your
wasting.
replay, how fast do you want to be as live as you can when talking amongst people.
Right.
You can look into that. You can also assign hotkeys as well. So for
Mhm.
me, but this can be messed up sometimes depending on the game.
Mhm.
Like, this is why I'm gonna eventually buy a new keyboard that has more hotkeys and eventually a Stream Deck as well.
Right.
So like for me, when I hit backslash on my keyboard, it automatically ends my stream for me.
Right.
So when sometimes like if I'm playing like a Switch game, I just hit backslash since it's not going to affect my keyboard is not going to affect my stream at all.
Uh-huh.
So I can immediately, after I raid someone, just immediately shut my thing down. Because when you raid people, it doesn't shut down your stream. You have to, once you raid someone, you have to go back and immediately like finish your stream physically. And this has gotten a lot of people in trouble for doing things that shouldn't be shown on camera, let's just say. But yeah, so I'd recommend like maybe thinking about hotkeys or anything like that. But you would want to do a key that's not important. But if you're okay, if you're already on your stream thing, then that's fine. You can do it that way.
Right.
That's just a recommendation. Yeah, just make sure everything is like to the best of your computer's ability is the main important.
All right.
Because like for me, for the longest time, I wasn't doing it to the best of its ability, and that was screwing up everything.
All right.
Also, when you're aligning things, you can actually have a snap sensitivity. So if you wanted to like not snap like off screen or on screen to something else, you can change the sensitivity there when you're positioning things.
Right.
And then also, if you save any of the videos, you can save your recording, and then you can you know, have it somewhere else, and you can change like how like, you know, the quality of that if you want it to be different than what it is when you stream it.
Right.
But mainly just check out your general settings and then like your output, and then, you know,
Right.
that's basically the most important. As for setup, now you have different things that you can do. Do you have a Streamlabs account?
Yep.
Okay. So on the Streamlabs, you can edit those on the actual website, and then it'll automatically connect to the source on here as well. So something like your alert box, now that's at least I don't think it has a connection to YouTube. It might. I haven't checked. Mine's connected to all the Twitch stuff since I gave it I allow it to do stuff on its properties. So I have my alert box to do things for me. And like once you put it in, you obviously can adjust it to wherever you want it to be. Let me see if I can find mine. There it is. Okay. So obviously right now you can't see it on screen because it's like not going off, but you can always test it.
Right.
So I can hit, so right here I'm hitting test to see what it looks like on screen when I'm playing. And then you can also adjust here. You can pick the kind of picture you want to play. You can do it however like you want it to. So if I hit follow here, now I have it in a different setup. You can change your source here. You can, although sometimes I've noticed in the past when I had issues and I couldn't upload a picture, or a GIF, I had to actually go to the physical website and upload it through that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you don't have to worry about bits and stuff like that because you're not an affiliate. Only affiliates can get bits.
Right.
However, you can get donations, so you can hook it up to your PayPal, and then you put the link in your Streamlabs,
Mm-hmm.
and you put it like on your you can put that in your like description.
Mm-hmm.
Posts and stuff like that, you can have that. Now you can activate these if you want, like there's a switch to turn these off and on.
Mm-hmm.
And then just always make sure you're testing to make sure what it looks like. You can also then change the color of what it comes off as. So when someone raids me, like I can check on that. Right here, it's not giving me that option to double check it, but like if you go on the actual Streamlabs, you can. And let's say you
Right.
had the Streamlabs window open right now.
Okay.
So let me pull it up. Alert box. So here it has basically the same settings, and I can test it. So this has more stuff that I can test.
Mm-hmm.
So like here it says test raids. So while Streamlabs is open and the website is open, what I'm gonna do is I am going to click test raids. So now it's showing up right here.
Mm-hmm.
It shows up right here on my actual Streamlabs. You can actually have people do things like, let's say you're offline, but you happen to have your actual Streamlabs OBS open.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes my friend, he'll to surprise me, he'll be like, "Oh, hop into your chat" or something like that. And then like right here, it shows you your stream chat, even if you're technically not online.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like message people, or you can, this is how you can grant access to bots and stuff like that. So if someone, like my friend right now, what he likes to do, he likes to send me bits on my off time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can see it here, and it'll actually go off in my Streamlabs here.
Mm.
So that's a good way to test things. Sometimes it's just offline when you want to see these smaller details rather than like the bigger ones that really need to be seen what it looks like.
Right.
Going back and forth between the live versus the not live.
Mm-hmm.
So, if for something like a capture card that you're using, so what you could do, so for mine, I have the two options to do my Elgato versus my game capture HD6 Pro. I use the HD60 Pro. For whatever reason, when I use the Elgato one, it squishes the picture and lowers the quality. I don't know why, but it does for me. So I always go with the Game Capture HD Pro.
Well,
and then you right here you can also fix you can, usually what I do, I always do default device. It automatically does all this information for me. But if you wanted to, you could always change it. You just have to hit custom. You can do all that.
Just work with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you mind just like how long are you able to help me with this? Because I mean, I'd love to just like workshop it with you and just like kind of.
I can work as long as you need, buddy.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to then show you how it is with the capture card. Then let me just close this up.
Yeah, me and Vinny aren't. We're not even streaming until later. I generally don't even stream until like a while.
Gotcha.
Like I stream in the evening.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I usually. Let's see what I believe I put it down. Let's see, where did I put it?
Also, one thing about like streaming, like at least like I can't speak for YouTube, but for sure on Twitch, everyone has their their good time periods. Like my friend, he's a lot more like successful with followers and people interacting with him in the morning, and I'm the opposite. Most people don't interact with me until after 6 p.m.
Right.
And then like up until late at night. But him on the other hand, he's like, no one talks to me when I'm online at night. So that's also a good thing to try, is to test, like when you do have the free time, to test streams during different times of the day and just see where your flow is. Now, obviously you do have to have a set schedule for yourself because you need to figure out like, you have to revolve it around your life.
Right.
But on your free days, I guess you can say, I would recommend just testing throughout the day just to see what is considered your up times versus your down times, kind of thing.
Okay.
But for things like right now, because you are technically not a affiliate, that you are missing some
well, that's gonna take me a while.
Stuff,
I mean, it's gonna take like how many followers and how much hours of streaming and whatever. I mean, even this, It's just like adding to the time, which isn't bad.
I'd recommend, because also it does average out as well when you have to reach affiliate. So even like, let's say you had like a bunch of people show up from one stream, but most of your streams tend to like not show more than like 3 people or anything like that, then it's gonna average out like to whatever.
Okay.
So it is something you have to be consistent about.
Well, like, I've been fairly consistent. I usually start around like 12:30, and then I'm, depending on how I feel, I can either do streams for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Sometimes I even pull in 4 hours. Which is, again, I don't have a job right now, so...
Sorry, I'm gonna have you on background, so I have to listen to your quality of your... I'm gonna hear your audio, that's why.
Yeah, no worries. So here, this is not, like, my gaming channel's account. This is my private account.
So what's good about what I'm seeing so far is that your audio does sound good so far. I mean, this is only one test, but it's always good to, like, on your off time, like what I like to do when I'm not live, I will record myself instead and listen to the recording, since the recording is basically your stream output as well. So let's say you're not sure if something's being picked up properly, like the sound, or you want to know if you're being drowned out or something while you're talking. Definitely record yourself and then watch your recording and see how it plays back, because that's a good way to just figure out, like, okay, if I play this specific game, this is a lot louder than something else. Like, because some games naturally are a lot louder, while some games are just not as loud. Now, you do also have your audio sliders that you can do.
Right, which I can see down here in the mixer.
And
I can see here if I like scroll down, I can slightly bring my desktop audio, which obviously is nothing because this is from the capture card.
Yeah, and then like during Mario, I was having an issue for whatever reason. One of the settings sound. So it sounded like Mario was always too far away, and I had to fix that. And so I had to basically go on like each of my settings. I would go on my sound settings, under properties, not properties. I lied. I would go under the audio, advanced audio settings, and I would see how each of them are. Now I'm not too sure, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That I don't touch. I don't touch like sync offsets or anything like that. For like the alert box and everything, that's all up there. It only goes off once in a while. But then like it says desktop audio, like monitor off, muted, like monitor only, medium output. So basically mess around with those settings as well if you're noticing anything. So for me, I had to turn on my monitor sound for my desktop, and then I had to turn off my HDMI one, which was the other way around.
Right.
So, just, you know, it's good to mess with your settings. Like, if something's already not, like, having a problem, then don't fix it. Like, it's fine as it is. But if you're catching something which is off, definitely mess around your settings and yourself and just see what it's like. Because, like, you're obviously not listening to yourself while you're streaming. So, and if you don't have anyone helping you to, like, let's say you don't have anyone in your stream, then it's like you're not gonna know. Because then it's like if somebody does log in and they don't say anything, you know. Like one time I had my mic muted and I didn't even know.
Well, that's the thing, is that like I can. So not only can I hear myself through, like, when you're listening through the stream, but I know that it's picking it up because when I plug my headphones into the microphone, because that's how I get my audio from this. If let's say I'm playing a computer game as opposed to through the capture card, which the audio is happening right now through both the TV and is picking it up through the capture card, I can hear myself speak. So if it was on silent, like, but now that it's back on again, I can hear it.
So when you're playing on your TV, do you have your TV turned up, or do you have your TV like turned down so you can hear it through your like capture card?
So it's capturing the sound through the capture card, but I have it very lightly on so I can also hear what's going on, but I don't want it to be able to pick it up, even though it does very, very slightly.
I would say the best thing that you can do is you can have your Elgato, have your capture card, like just have it, if you're already listening to your things on your computer, then just turn down your actual your TV and just listen to it through your capture card. Like, you don't have to look at your capture card, you can just listen to it.
Now, how do I access that though? Because, like, obviously you can see that it's picking up right now. I've just turned my TV on to silent. So how would I do that?
Could you maximize your window? Just so I can see a little better.
Oh, maximize. Sorry.
Yeah. Because it's only showing part way.
Right. Oh wait, that's...
You're
everything's every icon looks the same. My God. All right, there we go.
So now I can't. Now I don't have a TV based off like how yours is set up, but you said that like your TV, it's capturing your TV technically, which is capturing the game.
Here, I'm just gonna send you a picture to show kind of what's going on. I'll send it to Facebook, and you can just see how it's set up. Also, after I take the picture, I don't know if it's the restroom. So.
That's okay.
I'll be right back. Headphones in and we can get back to talking.
Tell you what?
Alright, I'm back.
Okay, so here's a question.
Yes.
How is your Elgato plugged in?
The way I have it plugged in is we have, let's see here, let me just...
Also, are you using an Elgato that's outside the computer or part of the computer?
Outside.
Okay, you're just outside. I have the one that's actually inside my computer. Like, I actually installed it into my computer.
Well,
but I think it works the same.
I'm sure it does. I mean, I have the software, obviously, to run it through, to download, so it's able to access it. So, the way it works is it has 3 separate cables. I use 2 different HDMI cables, one going into the TV, one going into the Elgato from the console itself, and then I have a miniature USB that I plug into the front part of my display.
So, okay, is the Elgato specifically capturing whatever is being broadcasted on your television, or is it capturing your actual switch?
It's capturing my switch, and then by processing it through the Elgato, it plugs into the TV, so it has it like let's say.
So it's outputting onto your TV.
Yeah. So let's say I move right. So there's maybe a 1 second delay from the TV to the computer or the stream, I suppose.
Okay, so the way I have mine set up is, I'm pretty sure my Elgato capture card works the same way yours does. So mine is where my switch, HDMI connected to the Elgato capture card. The Elgato capture card is then connected, kind of like as a monitor is plugged in as a device. I have it through an HDMI connected to that.
Right.
So I technically use 2 HDMIs where the computer is recording what the Elgato capture card is, which is recording the switch specifically. And that's how I have mine projected, so mine is always in real time.
Right.
I can send you a few videos that I watched, because I almost bought the one you got, but I ended up purchasing the one that's directly installed, but it works exactly the same way.
Right.
So, So for you, you say there is a small, like 1 second lag on your Streamlab, not your Twitch or your stream, but your actual Streamlab versus the TV.
Yeah. So let's say I'm going to move right now, and then Streamlab again. So let's say I move to the right. So maybe it's like 2 microseconds. Actually, it's very, very minuscule. It's damn near live.
Okay, so, but you're, for sure, whatever's on your monitor currently on your Streamlab is not the same, it's not real time as your actual TV.
No. It's just it's very close. It's very close.
So the only thing I could recommend, does your TV have an option for headphones?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay, so then something I would recommend, just so you don't have like an echoing, even if it's slight, like you want to try to just minimize like the sound of like the echo of like the game and then the game being captured, is something like maybe having like another headphones plugged into your TV and then you can wear that. Like I would say like maybe if you had like earbuds, have that plugged in and then put your headset over those ones unless you're using. Are you using earbuds or headphones? I can't tell sometimes.
I'm using earbuds, but starting next week I will be using headphones for the actual stream itself and for music. So I guess I could do like earbud and then headphone over that.
Okay, I would recommend something like that then.
Okay.
Because like if you need to listen to what's going on in your stream or something like that, like let's say like an alert, you know, that you can hear
Right.
your
And I'll be
headphones
able to
and
hear that
game.
through my mic.
Okay. So far from what I've seen, it looks like your Elgato's capturing perfectly fine.
Right.
Your audio sounds fine in game as well.
Alright, that's good. Usually the way I check is I actually go to the YouTube channel to see how it sounds. I don't really worry about the Discord overly much. There you go. So it looks like all the game and stuff is good. Can I ask you, how is it possible for me to set up
Add like the widgets.
Yeah, and like, I'm not so worried obviously about the donation stuff and that right now. I just want to cultivate a little bit of a following.
So what I recommend, so you could add a chat. So if you hit right here, so you're gonna then hit the plus button, and it gives you different widgets that you can use. So this is like, oh, browse your image. This is all computer-based stuff. This has nothing to do with like your Streamlabs, and then over here on your widgets, it gives you different options. Now, I don't know if because you also have the YouTube option, it gives you YouTube widgets as well. But for like me, this is all stuff based off my Twitch. So right here where it says, God, I have one chat box. So chat box here. So yeah, it says here that you can include your channel's chat for Twitch, YouTube, Mixer chat, Facebook chat, and stuff like that. So you're gonna click add source. And then you can have multiple sources. So obviously I already have a Twitch one, but I'm guessing that if I had a YouTube one, what I would do then, I would hit add a new source instead. So I'm gonna do YouTube chat. That's just the source that I'm gonna name it. So I'm gonna hit add source. Now, over here is all my settings that tells me everything that, like what it's gonna look like. So right here in this picture, it's like, oh, this is what's gonna currently look like. This is what I do use on my Switch.
Right.
So, you know, you check out your options, making sure it's all good. So this stuff you don't really need to mess with. You don't need to mess with HTML either. So once that's all fixed, now right here where it says width and height, depending, you don't want to ever really blow it up or shrink it like physically. What I like to do, I like to first adjust it to the best of its ability with its width and height. So let's say I want to fit it in this tiny little sliver here. So let's see, I'm gonna make it smaller. So 50 or 500, nope, still too big. 400, nope, still too big. 300, okay, just about right. So maybe 350 or something. Yeah, Good enough. So, height-wise, alright, I'm just gonna keep it up to 600, because that's, like, long enough. Now, obviously, because it's in a smaller area, it's gonna get squished. So here, I'm gonna hit done. And then, let's say if you want to add both chats, so now you're gonna add a second source. So here, I'm gonna add my, my chat box for my Twitch. I'm gonna have add source. I'm gonna click on Twitch chat, add source. Now, I'm gonna bring this one over here. Now for this one, it's the same thing. It's too big, so I'm going to switch its width over, change it to 325. I think I had it. Why aren't you switching? Sorry, I think my thing's being done.
Don't worry about it, man.
There we go. 325. So I hit done. Now I'm going to put this one over here, so now I got both chats going off back and forth with each other. So if I want to look at both of them. So now let me add something. Now you can see right here my chat. See how I have a thing right here, and it's showing back and forth.
Right.
I'm guessing Streamlabs recognizes if you type in one chat, it'll type in the other.
Right.
That's what I'm guessing it does. So, so if someone on the other end typed in something, they would also have theirs on their appropriate things. So if someone on YouTube is contacting you, it'll be on one side. If you're contacting you through Twitch, it'll be through the other. I don't know if it integrates it. Let me double check that. It actually might integrate it now that I'm looking at it. We would have to test that with like 2 people talking at once with a window. But basically, that is how you're going to set it up. Is that you're going to have your chat box open, and then you can place it anywhere. Now,
there it is.
you can. Yep.
And that's through YouTube.
Let me type something
and that's
to you.
Also yeah, feel free. I want to see if it shows up. Yep, there we go.
Okay, so right there on your chat, it's not showing as specifically. Doesn't look like it's showing specifically YouTube versus Twitch.
Well, yeah, YouTube is
on
just
your
YouTube,
Streamlabs it shows it,
yeah,
but on your actual thing, it's not showing that.
Right, but I don't need it to be like specific in how it is.
Now, something that I would recommend. I opened up my Steam on accident. I have a Switch controller for my computer, and then I have a Pro controller for just my Switch.
Right.
I keep hitting the wrong ones. So yeah, it looks like you only need one chat box, so that's a good thing, because it's integrating both of them.
That is a nice thing.
Now, what's nice is that you can like check, just if you double click it on its source, you can check the settings of how you want to do it. So what I do, when I do have it, I usually have it out where where I have it disappear after like a few like seconds and stuff like that. I do have it, so I'll always show messages. You can always click that so it never deletes itself. So some people do that where they just have their message box never leaving. I've had a few problematic times where I had to stop letting people keep the box open. So that was just personally me. But like for you, you already have like a border setup. I personally don't do border setups. The only ones that I do it for is like art and Super Mario, just because of like the way it captures it. So it's your choice if you always want to do that, or if you want to like slow it or down after like 100. So after 100 seconds, it'll slowly disappear that message. So you can do that and everything.
Right.
So right here is showing you badges. Like mine it says it shows moderator badges, subscriber badges, Turbo, Twitch, Prime, Bits. I can also do the top point holder badges, so it'll show up visually. Like if you want to have that. If not, like you just want them where it's just their names, so you can do it that way. So you might, as I said, you might have slightly different settings or extra settings because yours is also doing YouTube.
Right.
But it's basically the same setup. You have that option, so if you want to put it, just make sure it's there. And then you can always like disappear your chat by just clicking your eyeballs and removing it. You can also make sure, like if you like something where it is and you don't want to accidentally misclick it and move it on accident, you just make sure you're locking it so you can't move it again. Also, you can't forward, but you can back. You can do a Control Z within this program. So if you need to fix something, you can do it that way.
Okay.
That's basically yeah, it's really the basics of what you really need to know. I would just recommend for your setup, so you're not switching windows every single time. Just duplicate it and then switch out whatever's been recorded, so you can just go back and forth.
Can you like run me through that? Just like kind of like lead me step by step to do that, just so it's easy for me.
Yeah. Okay. So right here, see how I have my right here? I like my setup here for my Switch. Now let's say Super Mario 64 when I do, let's say when I play Splatoon, it has the same issue where it's cutting off it's creating a black border, right?
Right.
So what I'm gonna do with the setup, I'm gonna right click and hit duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
Once I duplicate it, I'm gonna rename it. So this will be called Splatoon Extra. I'm just gonna call that so I can do it later.
Could I just be
then
like?
I'm
Could I just like do kind of like Switch and then like PC?
Yeah, you can do that.
Lazy with
Whatever is easier for you. You can, like, if you're never really gonna switch out your things. Now, as I said, for certain games, you might have to eventually create something. Also, for me, I have so many different setups because of the way the game is. So when I play something like Sea of Thieves, like, you can see that I put out my little tiger logo, here in the corner. I put that over where the character, like, bar is, and then because there's nothing really that goes on in the middle of the game.
Right.
I put like my follower goal and then my little cat that tells like people hello, and like my handle. I put it like this. While for something like
those are obviously widgets you have gotten over time and downloaded.
I'll teach you if you want to get something like this Kappa monster, I think it's called, that like greets people. Otaku taught me this. That's a whole separate thing, because there are separate widgets that you can get from separate websites. I would just say be careful about how you go about that, but I'll teach you that after.
Okay.
But you're basically, you have these basic setups widgets, so like this follower goal, you can keep changing. Oh my god, I spelled goal wrong. Anyway, so something like this. So for Borderlands, there's a lot more on screen because of its hub. So I minimize everything on the screen instead. And then, but like for my Switch, like for Mario, I have, it's cut off, so I have it all on the sides. For Among Us, I put my camera here in the middle, which I'm currently ducking while my camera is live. But like right here in the middle is where my camera is, so it covers up the code, so people can't see the code. So yeah, every game I have is set up differently because of like what I do put out there and what I don't. Or like something for like Among Us, I advertise like I'm doing missions and stuff like that, so I put that out there. So, but you can do basic setups. Like if you don't plan on doing something like I do, like where you just straight up have PC versus your PC versus Switch. If that's all you're gonna do, then I would say you only need 2 setups then.
Well,
that's all you really need.
So it looks like I'm kind of good here in that respect then. The PC here. Yeah, like I'll just make this a set, like, and it's just like a duplicate, then change the name.
Yeah.
Maybe like PC setup, just to keep it simple. Obviously, like as you said, if things get complicated, I can do, like obviously here, I'm running Overwatch now. If I leave Overwatch as a game, I can just let's say go back to battle.net, and I'm going to open up, I don't know, WoW Classic, and then just wait for that to open, and then it's going to obviously load in, and then eventually it is capturing it, and there we go. Now when it's running on the PC, it's actually damn near, it's literally perfect, so that's good.
Yeah, when it's on your PC, because it's specifically recording whatever's going on, you can do that. Now, now there are different things that you could do when you're recording. So for like my Overwatch, I have it where it's game capture. I have it capture a specific window, so it doesn't accidentally. Like, let's say I had another game up right now on accident. I don't want it to pick it up as I'm trying to like save and close it down. So I don't have it on auto, but you do have the option for the game to capture whatever is currently playing and it recognizes it.
Right.
Or you can just do a capture specific window in its properties and it'll only record that. So right here it says window, Overwatch. So it's specifically tethered to Overwatch rather than capturing whatever game just happens to be playing in the background.
Okay.
So you can do something like that, like if you want. Like if you want to do, so let's say like you do what I do where you have separate setups for separate games. I'd recommend doing something like that. But if you're going to keep the same setup and you don't have any need to change anything, then I would just keep it on auto.
Right.
So it automatically just finds what you're doing.
Right. I think that's how I'll go about it. And for the most part, it seems like just like an easy thing to keep it as it is.
Yeah, and then like when you're playing a game, it's going to show up as your desktop audio here. It's going to show up like here as whatever's being played on your desktop, while something like your Switch, it's going to show up as your HDMI here, and then or your game capture Elgato, and it's going to also show up like your desktop here.
Right. Which is interesting because let's say I switch to this chat here. It says chat as myself. Let's see. Switch setup. There it is. It's there. Now as you can see here, the desktop audio is currently running, but Elgato is running.
Yes. So like play something, like walk around while playing the game. Yeah, I'm listening. So I had to mute my mic just so that I'm making sure that it's not picking up both on accident. But yeah, it's sounding good. Everything sounds good. I would recommend though, like if maybe adjusting your web camera, since you do have a lot of space above you. So either point it down or you can also crop it out as well. So yeah, so you're more in frame. You could also adjust it. So here, let me show you mine. Okay, let me activate my. I just got out of the shower, so my hair's still. But so here, let me take out. I'm using another program to record my camera. Let me open up my. Okay, so. Here is my actual camera. Please don't make this. So my camera is actually really this is what I'm getting here. Like it's getting all that background. So on my actual as you can see on my actual Streamlabs though, it's cropped. Yeah, so I have it cropped basically. But sorry, I'm readjusting all that. As I said, please mind the best. I am currently like organizing. So what to do? So the way to crop your web camera is kind of like how you adjust your like your chat window. So you're gonna open up where you're gonna double click on web camera. And first you want to make sure all your settings are fine and junk like that, right? Make sure it's recording the way you want it. Double check that. If everything looks good, then what you're gonna do, then you're gonna right click it, and where it says transform, you're gonna click on this edit transform, and now here it gives you the option to basically crop everything. So like, yeah, my camera's not pointed out properly. But like you can crop it, so here I have it at 300, I'm gonna move it to 800. See how it's changing everything suddenly? You see how it cropped me differently? So 300, so that's the size. So left and right is basically your size, and then top and bottom is like your window, how you want it cropped. So let's say I want to do it 50. Do you see how it's like slowly changing?
Right, it's like lowering.
I can like reset to get it back what it was, and I can always go back. I'm gonna back all that real quick so I don't see. But yeah, so you just basically wanna mess with that for your web camera, just your transformation. You can crop it that way.
Right.
Just by editing and just seeing like, okay.
I mean, I don't really mind my picture being so small here in the corner. Obviously, it's tiny.
Okay. Also, what camera are you using?
I am using a... Let's just check this. Do the double check. I am using a C9.2 Pro Stream webcam.
Oh, you're using what I have. Cool.
There you go.
So I can forward you, if you want, I can forward you this program that my friend recommended me, the one I was showing you. This program, basically, you can do it where you can remove the background, you can do background replacement. So like for Overwatch, I use a certain background for mine. Let me see. Okay, I can't find the background right now. But basically, see here, you can see this fish around me.
Right.
You see all this, so I do that. Now, obviously, it's not perfect the way it is as green screen, but like overall, like for me, I put a blanket behind me to basically knock out so it's less of a busy. Like right now, I don't have my blanket behind me, but like that's what I do to knock out everything so it's not as bad when reading me. You can also do something like the blurred out background. So now it's all blurred out and I can control its strength. So if I want to strengthen it, now it's like completely like blurred. You do stuff like that. I'll send you the information for this if you want to try something like this. So let's say you want to just focus on you and blur out everything else. So but the problem is that sometimes it will, if it doesn't recognize a human, like me holding up this water bottle, it's having a hard time focusing because it's programmed to just pick up a human. And for whatever reason, the chair. So I can show you something like that. And you can also adjust like the strength of it and everything like that. But then you physically have to crop it yourself inside the Streamlabs. So it's not going to crop in the program, but you can actually crop it in the program itself.
Okay.
So
like, let's say I were to. Well, let's do that. Let's let me check out this program, and then after that, it seems like I've got my two separate windows open as I want them. Kind of saved. Just to show you as it is. Let's go here. There's this. I don't mind the background being like just me, but it would be great for a little bit more privacy. So obviously I have my image, like here's my door behind me, and here's my little like divot area here where I have like my booty stuff. It's fine that it's there. I don't mind people seeing it, but if you have like someone who's really religious that doesn't like the green or something.
yeah, I'll definitely forward you the program that I just gotta find that message real quick. Yep, okay, found it. Here, I'm gonna Discord this to you. Send the message. Let me send the message. Pop out, full screen. No, I don't want that screen that way. Let me text. There we go, show text. There we go. So this is the program that I use. So basically then on the web camera portion, I have it where it's not doing the camera, but it's recording the broadcast from that camera. So if you download this program, so whatever is being fixed in that program will be outputted into this. So you're just gonna then change it to where it's camera and then the broadcast, like I have it here.
Okay.
So that's why it's the changes are really quick when I change it from program and automatically puts it into my Streamlabs. Also, you don't always have to keep this broadcaster open when you record it. It will remember. Yeah, it'll keep it in the background, so it'll remember where I left off. Like when I opened up my Streamlabs and I opened on my camera, I didn't have my broadcaster in the background. I used to think that I needed it, but it remembers your previous setting. So, like for me, having it always as a background removal, I don't have to open it up to keep doing that each time. It remembers that, and it's done.
Okay. So I'm gonna just get started on this setup. Let's see how it works out. By the way, question for you.
Yes.
For your internet, do you just do like an Ethernet cable, or are you using Wi-Fi?
I am using Wi-Fi because in my apartment there's only one area for the cable, and I literally am the opposite end of the apartment with my computer. So I have like I use Wi-Fi with an antenna, but I do have like Google Fiber. Like I have like the highest class that you can use, which is why like a lot of my streams don't usually have issues. And I had to make sure I updated everything. Always make sure your drives are updated for everything, because for the longest time my streams are really crappy. And I was like, I have the best internet. Why is my stream so slow? Why am I lagging? Why is it freezing? Well, it's because I didn't update my programs.
Right.
I didn't realize that I had to do that. So always double check, constantly check your website, not your website, your computer in general for every single thing that
It's
is
updates and stuff. Yeah, I basically have it for auto updates. I usually do around that. Okay, that's good.
So yeah, like always, like if you're ever having issues like with internet, double check real quick with your thing before you start messing around with settings, just in case.
Right.
But yeah, obviously if you have the cable, you're gonna be 10 times faster.
Right. I'm actually thinking about. Or is it yeah, see, there you go. I don't use an NVIDIA.
Oh, you don't?
No. So there's that. Let me check.
There is another program that Elgato did recommend that you can download. The only thing is though, to get that ability to like knock out your background and stuff like that, you do have to pay a subscription.
Well, then
So,
I'm fine
I mean,
for having it as it is.
There might be other programs that allow you to do it with like something like Knockout. I get it through my through this. I'm sorry, I should have realized that you needed to have that card in order to do it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Remember, you're the smart one, not me.
Well, I'm also like I admit when like here's the thing, I'm smart, but I'm also I don't know something, which is pretty smart. But if we don't recognize them together, it doesn't help us, I guess.
See, I'm the type of person who won't recognize that I'm not smart, and so I'm like trying to shove a square, like a cube, inside like a circle. Like, why isn't it going? That's me. And that's just me trying to force things. I'm like, I think this will work. But
I want to show you like what this setup is like here. How it works. Just gonna find system security. Alright, there you go. So I have, let's see, my processor is an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X 8-core processor. Don't know about my there you go. Different things.
okay.
You want to look at stuff? Just tell me.
Let's see if I can find my blocks. I'm trying to remember what that other program was that it recommended to me. Yeah, because the C922 for Logitech, it does actually, like, it can read background removal, but it's just you need to have a program for it. Here it is. So the other program was XSplit Broadcaster for your that you can use for your camera. As I said though, like if you want to get like the background removal or anything like that, or you do have to buy a subscription or just buy like it in general. I might eventually do that. but for now, I'm not, because this other program that I'm currently using is already doing enough work for me. But I would also maybe research those other programs that are free that you can use. Like, I did a lot of research on all this. Like, I kept asking other streamers, I had to ask, like, a lot of my friends and stuff like that. Like, hey, what did you do to do this? Even sometimes cameras themselves have their own settings that, you know, are hidden that you can unlock. But XSplit is what I at the beginning. But yeah.
Yeah, here it says that's pretty good. XSplit VCAM. 1999.
Your background and all the background options available. If you want, you can remove your background similar to the effect of a chroma key. XSplit works with virtually any streaming software such as OBS and XSplit Broadcaster. Great tool.
Okay, so yeah, you could. Logitech does have its own web camera, like streaming thing, like in general. I'm just looking at the options real quick. Yeah, so like you could do it with like borders. It'll automatically give you different, like you can do a text overlay, you can watermark it. You can change like its FPS and everything like that. There's advanced settings. But it doesn't like offer you like the extra stuff that would be offered in XSplit. So like something like the background removal or anything like that, it does not offer unless you get a subscription.
Yeah, well, I mean, I might just go with this XSplit VCAM and then just do it through that. I'm just like, I don't have to create that. I don't have to have it like blur into the thing like yours does. I'm absolutely happy with it. Just again, it's like when you look at streamers who have it open just through.
I mean, the best that you can really do, like if you want to try to knock out more of your background, as I said, is just crop your image and then blow up the actual like video. You could do something like that, kind of like how I crop it, and then I then open it, and then widen like my picture by like after I already knocked out the background. So I would recommend maybe something like that if you want to try to take out their background. Like if you make your thing narrower, just take out that.
So let's say I want to do that. How do we do this?
Okay. Let me pull it. Just because my camera keeps like picking up on everything and I don't have my basics set up so it doesn't like read all that busyness.
Right.
Okay. Actually, I'm on video. Okay, so I already have like my image cropped. I'm gonna change it here. So what I'm gonna do. Oh, I have a long. I'm gonna move it to the center. Okay, so here's the image, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit transform, edit transform. Move this window over. So now I'm gonna see how it's adjusting. So let's say I want to do 700. That's making it smaller. If I want to make it something like 200, it's like kind of centering it. So, okay, we're gonna start with the reset settings. This is actually probably better this way. So everything's at 0, 0, 0, right?
Right.
So okay, I want to make it. I want to take out like everything around me. So on the left side, let's go with a 500. Okay, so that just took out like a lot of me, right? You see that now?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So let's go back to the transforming. And so I want to do the same thing, but on this side, right? So on the right side, 500. Now I just knocked out everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Now I want to get rid of this top portion. So what I'm gonna do, this top portion, let's go with 200. Alright, so now it's basically where my head level is, so I'm good with that. But I don't want my chest area, right? I just want to do from shoulders up. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go from 200, and now I've already knocked that out. But I want more of this side, right? I am going to then adjust it to where it's 400. Now I have more on this side. Also what I do, because this is not mirrored, so this is showing it like differently. This is my right hand, but looking on the screen it shows up as my left. So what I do, I flip my camera. So I hit transform, and then I hit flip vertical, not vertical, freaking horizontal. I don't know why. Horizontal. So now if I raise my right hand, it's showing it mirrored, like I'm raising my right hand. If I raise my left hand, now it's showing it as my left hand. So, but yeah, I have it completely mirrored. So if I raise my right hand, it looks like I'm raising my right hand on the right side of the screen. While if I raise my left hand, now it's on the left side. So now, but as you can see, according to my shirt, you can tell now that it's completely mirrored. So obviously Las Vegas should be the other way. So it's mirrored, which is why I personally don't wear text in my camera stuff. So, because I personally like to see it where it looks like I'm looking at a mirror. Now, if you personally want to do it the other way, where like let's say you hold up something like this, like if you hold up a crunch bar or whatever, it actually reads crunch. It actually reads crunch rather than the backwards version. That's completely up to you. So yeah, that's basically how you can crop it from the actual Streamlabs.
Okay.
So you just gonna hit the web camera, transform, and then you can do it this way, just by like, okay, I want to edit this transformation and stuff like that. And it'll basically, right here where it says crop, you can crop it. So if it looks properly to you, usually I would recommend crop it as like on a big enough where you can see the changes being made. Then once you've made the changes, what you're gonna do is you're gonna then put it where you want it to be. So I like putting it above my bar next to my cat. So once I get the cropping properly, I will then just shrink it down here, and now I'm good to go.
Right.
So now, so when like in the middle of my strains, I'll sit here and pet my cat like this.
Like, let's say I want to make this full screen, kind of like, and then just have like me be like kind of on the side down here, chat up here. How do I do that?
What do you mean? Say that one more time?
Kind of like, instead, you know how you have like the two borders and everything. What if I wanted to just make like the game screen a full screen?
Where it's full screen? Okay,
and
so
like,
what you're gonna do for that, so right now you have it adjusted where you crop, or it's, well, not crop, but like it's adjusted. So let me bring up my Switch again so it's easier to read. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a picture. Oh, no, I was on my pictures. Okay. So this, like, here's a picture. And basically, let me get rid of my borders. Blah, 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 blah. So right here, background, okay. So see how this is like currently a full screen, right? Okay, so right now what you have is adjusted. So yours is like this right now, right?
Right.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click it.
Right click on
the HDMI or your capture, right? And then you're gonna hit transform. And then you're gonna hit fit to screen.
Okay. Now
and then now
how do I put
now
the
you wanna put this behind everything. So this is, as I said, everything is layer based. So right here, like, you want to click and drag your source. So and then click it and drag it all the way down to the bottom. So if it doesn't scroll, you just have to keep, you know, moving it back down until you're where you want it to be. So you want that to be above your background, right?
Like right there?
There you go. Yeah, now you're good.
And then there's my donate. Very nice. I like this a lot.
And then also what you could do is you can group things in folders. So for me, like I have a handle. There it is. So like for me, I have my handle. Stop. Okay, try it again. I have a handle, right? So I have it grouped up. So when I adjust it, it goes together. The way I do that, there is a little folder right here. You click on this folder and you hit group, and then you're gonna click and drag things you want to be part of that.
Okay.
So I'll use okay. I'm gonna use my Among Us and then my little text I have right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on these, right? I'm gonna click on one. So I'm gonna click on the Tofu Among Us, which is this picture. I'm gonna click on group. So I'm gonna hit Among Us.
Yeah.
Now it created a folder right here. Now it's on the very top. But obviously I don't want it to be in this specific location. I'm just gonna drag it down to where I want it to be, where Tofu is already.
Right.
Now I'm gonna open it. So it's already open. So arrow when it's facing down means it's open. Now I'm gonna click and drag Tofu to the Among Us folder, and now he's part of that. So if I click on the arrow where it's facing right, that means he's part of that folder. But I also want to get this text in there, right? So this commission info text, I'm gonna click and drag to the Among Us folder, and now it's together. So if I minimize it, now you can't see the two, but they're clearly there still if you click on it. So now if I click on the folder itself, if I click on it, you can see that both of them are highlighted. I can move both of them because they're grouped together. But if you were to click on it individually, now they are apart. But if I click on the folder, now I can move both of them. Now you can see they're both moving on my screen.
Right.
So that's what I usually do. So I don't have a bunch of like crap, like of all this stuff here that's just not needed.
Right.
So like as I said, my handle, because that's 3 different things, I have it where it's in the group, so I don't have more to scroll down because it's such a pain in the butt to constantly be like, where is it, or something like that. And then like for me, now some people have separate title cards, like over here, like how I showed you the 2 setups. Like I see you have it, like where you have your BRB one. Like for me, because I don't I like showing what I have like on top, such as like the images when I'm gone. So I made my own title card to put inside the actual the setup. So I'll click on it, I'll unclick it, and then it'll bring it up. So like right now, like let's say if I wanted to go to the bathroom, but I didn't want to exit out of my actual like stuff, but I still want people to see my follower goal, or I still want people to see like the text chat and not have it refresh.
Right.
It'll still be there.
Right.
So it just depends on you, because sometimes when you switch between sources, it refreshes things. So like you can see here how my cat currently has his bits in here, but if I were to click on this other one, my original will be right back. See how everything disappeared? So something like that. So if I click on it, you can see like a different one. Now his bits are gone, and now it's reloading everything back into it. So it depends on you. Like if you don't have anything you don't care that gets refreshed. So let's say for your chat, like if it already is disappearing after a few messages, then having a separate title card that you can click on over here to your left is fine. But if you're someone like me who likes keeping everything live, so it's not refreshing, like such as like my cat here, so when he's like, as I like to say, he watches people when I'm gone, like he's already there. I just bring up I just have my own title card that I put in as a media source, and then I can click in and out of. Or when I'm drawing, I have a different title card when I'm going back between commissions, and I don't want people to see everything in my gallery. I bring up this little title card real quick, and then I just unclick it. So you can do something like that.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But I would definitely recommend just make sure you lock your like sources. So let's say like you have your Nintendo source like stretched out to the way you want it. Just make sure you do lock it. So if you're trying to adjust something on stream,
like what I have right now.
Yeah. So like I've seen people like you can't like there are sometimes things that you can't handle like when people write nudity or not write nudity have nudity like from a game. So I've seen streamers where they clicked and dragged their web camera over like the genitals or the boobs or something showing up, so they just click and drag like that. So on screen you can actually see me moving around like this.
Right.
This will be recorded. So you can actually in live do this with the stream. So like I've not done anything like that, but I've seen another streamer, one of my favorites, his name is Dashi. Like when he started playing Mario Galaxy, because you know you're in space, what he did as a joke, he took his image and he kind of like DVD logoed it and floating around in space.
That's funny.
So, but if you don't have anything that you want to move, then definitely make sure you're locking the source. So if you accidentally click into this, you're not clicking, like you're not pulling it out.
Alright, so how do I lock in the source? Because I like this setup of both, like, chat box here, my image here.
Okay, so you see how there's little eyeballs here? Which basically the eyeball indicates, like, take it away, put it back on, like what I'm seeing versus what I'm not seeing.
Right.
So there's a little lock next to it.
Okay.
So with the lock, you can see if you click on it, if it's like this, it means it's unlocked. But if it's like connected, that means that it's locked, so it won't be able to move. So right now, my HDMI is locked, so I can't move the screen. But if I unlock it like this, I clicked it, so it's like unlocked. Now I can move my source. So just make sure like you lock everything that you don't want to like accidentally move, like in between like streams or something like that.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm gonna be just doing that right now. Just want to see where everything is. Latest subscriber. Let's put that, I don't know, like right here in the corner. Obviously for now, it's not a big issue. Lock, latest follower. It doesn't need to be that, no.
And then like sometimes like your things are those used from a different website or is that a widget?
This is a widget through Streamlabs.
Okay. See, I don't have that as a widget, so I have not messed with it. But just make sure like everything can be adjusted. So like here, like the jar, since I collect bits, I double click the source to adjust things. So it'll usually show like a test. Like here, it lets me test that widget. Streamlabs lets you test your widgets, so you can always do something like that. So just make sure, like, if you have a widget from Streamlabs, that you test it first before, because then it's like, let's say someone did subscribe to you, but you didn't even notice because your widget wasn't set up properly. You want to make sure you're testing your widgets beforehand to make sure, because then you'll feel awkward, or they'll feel awkward. They're not seeing anything happen. Make sure if you're doing alerts like I am, if you're using like the sound alert bits, or if you're using things like the alert box where it's like, oh, blah 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 rated you, or blah 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 subscribed, or they followed you, and they play the sound effect in the picture. Make sure that's in front of like where everyone can see it, rather than like if it's behind you. Because I noticed when you were streaming the other day and my friends were following you, your box, your alert box was actually behind your image.
That's again, I did not know. Yeah.
So
again, this is all, I'm just like getting started with everything. So I didn't really play. I was more like just like getting the initial practice of streaming itself.
Of course.
Yeah. So I felt like that was more important than this, which I appreciate them subscribing, obviously, but obviously it can't be seen as of this moment.
No, yeah, that's fine. But you'll get more of a hang of it, and then as I said, every streamer is different.
Right.
So you just gotta find out what works for you, what doesn't. Just always make sure you're testing things every time you try something new. Test it as a recorded video instead of like just going live. But if you actually do need to see the live footage, like something where we were going back and forth with each other that we needed to both see physically, then yeah, a test was in order to be actual stream. Because there are people who you're not getting any echoes, which is good. You're not getting like an extreme lag or blur or anything like that. Now there are times where your stream, where just Twitch is being dumb, where it just drops out of nowhere. Where like one time they were fixing the servers and a lot of streamers were having issues. Their streams were dropping nonstop. Also, you want to try to just, in general, to put less stress on your PC, is not have anything background running. So don't have like windows open, don't have any like don't have YouTube open in the background for whatever reason, or let's say you don't want to have like you have a Facebook Messenger opened up. Don't have Facebook Messenger or it's gonna pick up your sound effect because it is recording your desktop audio. So anything that is played in, let's say, Facebook Messenger, it's gonna be picked up.
Right.
Discord does have an option. So like for me, I actually go back and forth a lot on my Discord when I stream. Also because I generally stream with Vinny, and so we have to talk to each other. Obviously we're using Discord, but if we have Discord open, you do know that Discord does have sounds playing if you have that activated. There is a way to prevent that. If you go on to Discord, there's a streamer mode, and basically you're gonna look through those settings and then you can click on those of what you want to do. So you can, like, let's say you're you can hide personal information, so it'll tell you if people, so let's say like someone messages you and you click on their profile, it'll say, it won't give you that option to look at their information or something like that. You can also have it where it's disable sounds or notifications. So let's say you
it looks like that's how it is. Like it's automatically, like you can see my screen obviously, so and automatically enable and disable if OBS or XSplit is running on this computer. So it's already doing it because it has it on
yeah,
here.
so it is already doing it, which is weird considering I am not seeing you live, even though it says you're live. My friend was having the same issue as well. I noticed that it wasn't showing me when he was live, because on Discord, it'll show a purple icon if you're live.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, it wasn't showing up. Now, that could just be personally me and mine. Like, if you're live, it'll show you your purple icon. So you know how you have your statuses, your yellow, red, and white, or,
Right.
you know, and stuff like that? It'll basically show it on there, like, purple if you're streaming.
Right.
So
I looks like everything's good and set up now. Like I can see live right now on my screen right here. Let's say I'm playing a PC game just windowed, right? And I don't know, it could be WoW, it could be Sonic Adventure, could be any game of like, I don't know, let's say I open up let's see which one is what I want. Oh right, I don't have Steam on my bar over here. Let's say open up Steam, right? And I want to play, I don't know, Among Us. So I open up Among Us. When I want to look at chat, and if I don't want to kind of be constantly like, oh, I'm gonna look at my OBS here, look at the chat, right? What do I do? Oh, Vintage Burb is watching. Vintage Burb
hi,
has
Vinny.
follow.
You watching right now?
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, he knows I'm helping you right now.
Oh, that's good. Thank you,
What up,
friend.
Vinny?
Long time
But
no
basically, what you're
Don't
gonna do, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go where you're gonna basically right click on your actual like window here.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
You're gonna
to,
and then you're gonna right here where it says create output projector.
Okay.
You click on that. Obviously, you only have one monitor, unlike me, so
Right.
you're only gonna click on that one display, and now it's gonna basically show you how you're watching it.
Okay.
Or how people else are watching it. So if you want to see your chat, you can see it here in the corner on the right side.
Okay,
Obviously,
you're
gonna see yourself.
Could you run that through me again? Obviously, I was like, yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It's okay. Let me exit out of this. Okay, so basically, what you're gonna do, you're going to have your regular screen right here, your display, right? Right-click it.
Okay. Alert box.
You're gonna go all the way down where it says create output projector.
Okay.
Click on that,
Okay.
and then click on the display that you wanted, which you should only have one. And then now you're gonna see it the same way that your stream is seeing it.
Okay. So you said.
Oh, it's gonna full screen. It'll full screen your actual your monitor, so you're gonna see it the way they are seeing it when you create output projector.
Create output projector. Full screen display. And I see it. Kind of, you can see I'm pulling it around. I just put on full screen.
Yeah, there should be an option to completely full screen it.
All right. And is it just windowed? How does that work?
You have an option to do window. Did it, do you have any other separate settings on your things? Or is your World of Warcraft windowed in general? Or
Yes.
can it go completely full screen?
It can go full screen if I change, like, see, if let's say I go to menu here, I can go to system and it can go to windowed full screen.
Okay, I would say do something like you can window full screen it.
Okay.
You could do it through that because when it's recording, it's gonna. Oh, what's the message say?
Unable to start 3D application or something like that.
Okay, so then you might have to do the window. Let me see that example again. Sorry, it's just hard to read because on your Discord, it's showing as blurred again, so I can't see it completely.
So, system, graphics windowed. I'm going to switch it now. Allow Discord overlay in game.
That's up to you. If you want to keep your Discord
Right.
ever, you can always change that on the actual Discord itself.
Right. Let's say I apply it, and see, it's kind of just. World of Warcraft is unable to start.
So let me see if I can find a way around yours then, because that is the way you want to do it on Switch for sure. Now let me try something, because you do technically need to be in your window, because some games will not process if you're not in your actual window.
Right.
Let me try.
Yes, I do have a mustache. I grew it while I was teaching in Japan, because we were required to wear masks, and my job was strictly you can't have facial hair unless you can have just a distinct and it looks nice, and I took the opportunity to grow it. And that is how that works.
If I create a source projector, it's going to full screen it alone. So if you want to see it on screen, but your game does require to actually be in game.
Mm-hmm.
See, for Switch, it works. It works fine if you're in Switch. But if you're a PC, because you do have to be in the physical window, the best thing I can just recommend is, so you're not going back and forth, is if you get like your phone and download the Twitch app, or if you have a tablet or a separate computer.
I do have a separate laptop that I'd be able to do that with.
Okay, so if you have a separate laptop, simply when you're streaming, pull up Twitch on your laptop while you're streaming on here. Have that open, and you'll be able to moderate your chat through there and see everything that's going on.
Right, and probably I can do the same with like YouTube. Like I can just switch between them on like my PC, like my laptop, and just be like,
you'll be able to see both.
Well. All right, obviously
you'll be able to go back and forth.
Right, because it'd be nice to be able to play PC games without having it be in a tiny window, like what I've been doing.
Yeah, so yeah, the best way I could recommend, if it's a PC, do it through a separate laptop. If you're doing it through a Switch, then you just do a source projector. Because then it's like, it's not that you're actually physically hitting the keys that can adjust anything, you're doing it on a controller, which is only being picked up by the Switch itself.
Right.
So I would recommend Switch, source projector. If you're doing it through computer, then just have a separate source to read off of, which is why usually a second monitor is good to have. At least not that I've realized. Let me try one more thing real quick. Let me see, because I do know you can pop out your chat on Twitch, but I don't know if you can lock that chat. Let me see. Blah blah blah, creator dashboard, stream, pop out. Okay, so you can do a pop out, but like, let me see if you can lock it. Mod icons, timestamp, blah blah blah, emotes only, blah blah blah. Review recent queues. Vinny, if you're listening to this, can you please clear out my queues and complete the task for me? Thank you. Okay, yeah, so you can't, like, you can do a pop-out player, but obviously if you click out of it,
well, yeah, since I'll be playing on like if it's windowed, it won't show up. Yes.
Okay, so definitely then the best thing you can do for a PC, since you can't, I don't know why they don't, this is not a regular computer thing in general, like Windows can't be locked.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of stupid that you can't lock Windows.
Right.
But the best thing you can do at this point is just have a separate laptop or device like your phone or tablet and just have this chat pulled up.
Right, which probably what I'll end up doing is we have a couple of iPads that I just we need to kind of break into.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, it's less like, oh no, they're stolen. No, they were used for a business, and now the business is no more, and we just have them. So I don't have the right charging cable, so I think they're just without battery. And if we can get them basically factory reset, it doesn't do it. But I get what you're like implying.
There's if you click on the settings, I'll screenshot it and send it to you. There is a stream manager setting, and it'll show you all your stream data just like you would on Twitch. So
Right.
all this data here, like this whole window,
Like I'd be able to access it on like my phone.
you'll have access to it on your
or-
phone, your tablet, and then if you have it on a separate laptop, you'll have the same thing because it's just
Right.
it's a whole dashboard that you can access in your Twitch. So it'll look like this.
Okay.
So based off, oh god, I sent it to Vinny. My bad.
Well, I mean,
It'll look like this. Vinny's he wants to stream eventually, so he'll know now. But he actually has access because he's my moderator. He has access to see everything I can see. So like
Right.
during the middle of my games, I have a lot of people talking to me at once. So sometimes like if someone says something bad, if I'm in the middle of like focusing on the game, I can have Vinny remove it for me. Now you can
Right.
also set up your bots. There is Nightbot. I use two bots. I use Nightbot and Streambot. They both regulate my chats for me.
Mhm.
And then like my little Kappa monster that I had in my stream, I had him. He just sprouts things and says hi to people. That's all he can do. But like I
Okay.
technically have 3 moderators. So I have our actual human and then 2 computers. And you can adjust your 2 bots to you can make them where they repeat things. So like mine goes, hey, just so you know, Showtime has a Facebook. Go check her out. And then the other one just, you know, if someone says like a bad word that obviously shouldn't be said or typed,
Right.
it'll automatically clear out that message or something.
Which would be good for me since I have my Facebook page opened up, as you know. And I also have it a link to my Instagram account, which is fine since it's my personal one. I'm just going to keep the same name, you know, Nick_Wagon_Seller. But yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, that's
It's
cool.
yeah, just when you're beginning, I would recommend just adjusting like your bot, because one time I didn't know that my bot didn't allow people to spam like emojis, so it would start blocking people out and timing them out so people couldn't be in my chat because it thought they were bad, even though people were just sending like the same emoji over and over again for my streams.
Right.
So I had to adjust him. And then but that's all. Like if you go to actual Streamlabs has all of that. There's a bot option here somewhere that I can't find at the moment, but there's a bot option that tells you like what to do and everything. So yeah, like right here I have like timers, commands and stuff like that if people want. There's also automatic ones that you can have connected, so if people want to find my Discord for whatever reason they're too lazy to look down at my information thing, they'll they just have like ! Discord automatically connects it for them.
Gotcha. So there's like a lot of ways I'll be able to do that, setting it up
Yeah.
and stuff.
So like here on my Streamlabs, I took off cap protection, symbol protection. The only one I have is word protection available for my Streambot. So I have it where he can't say, or if someone says certain names, you know, or words, it'll be blocked out.
Right.
So I have a blacklist. So obviously these words that I'm showing you, I don't want people writing.
Obviously, right? Okay, gotcha.
So you can adjust that. Like I have it where I'm not using their default blacklist. Because I think there was like something that was for whatever reason that wasn't even a bad word being blacklisted on their default. So I had to remove it and then put my own blacklist. So if you don't like, if you're just in general want to completely play it safe, like if you're like, let's say you're rated E for everyone kind of person, then I'd recommend using their default blacklist.
Right.
But if you're the type of person that's like, okay, if someone says like, if they accidentally write like bitch or something on it, like, you know, then you can you can have it where you can put on your blacklist that it's not there,
Right.
you know. But like, let's say you don't want people specifically saying like, let's say like there's a word that like, let's say you hate the word chocolate for whatever reason, you hate chocolate. You can add that yourself and not have it like, because obviously on their default blacklist they're not going to have chocolate.
Right.
But you can make your own blacklist and purge that word every single time.
Right. So probably like at some point, like in the actually, I guess I could like do that right now just to get it over with, right?
Yeah, I would recommend just like try to like adjust. I can send you all the stuff that I use. Like I use Nightbot. It's another good moderator for Nightbot. I use Nightbot for I use Nightbot just to say things over and over again for me. So I have him like here where it says Discord. I have him where it gives out my Discord information. That's basically what I use him for. Now he has other things, but I don't use them. I don't know what they do, but I don't have a reason to be using this extra stuff. So you can also here you can enable what you want it to do. Like for me, I don't to prevent people from spamming. I have it where they have to go through Vinny to accept that he'll get a message that says, "Can blah 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 post this link."
Right.
If not, I'll tell him, "Hey, can you search the link and then repost it again if it's safe?" So you could do stuff like that. I think both bots are capable of doing that.
Right.
But basically, you just want to check here, like everything. Like what already is included with your Streamlabs, and then what already is in, if you get Nightbot, what does Nightbot allow? So like for Nightbot, I actually have him disabled, I think. Oh, apparently I don't. Oh, I have him with his own. Yeah, I also have him triggering stuff. I have his own separate blacklist. So,
Right.
but like here, I don't like the other bot. I disable them to like use excess caps because I like to joke around and they'll be like using excess caps and be like, oh, like me yelling. I'm like, what are you doing? Like I get yelled at a lot by my friends as a joke when I play Mario because I suck.
Right. I saw watching that stream like yesterday or the day before.
But basically, just do it to whatever your preference is. If you don't like people using, caps, then totally enable that. If you don't care, then disable it. Completely depends on you. Repetition. Right. So let's say, like, one time we had someone who was saying their name over and over again because I couldn't figure out how to pronounce it. So they were typing it over and over again, but the bot thought that was a bad thing, so it kept kicking them out. So I had to remove repetition from the bot, so it wouldn't kick out someone who kept repeating, like, a certain word.
Right.
That wasn't bad, so.
Gotcha.
Yep. Anything else that's confusing you or concerns?
So Nightbot you said, and then I'll just look up bots for that, but I'll save this as a link for later.
All right, so that's Nightbot. As I said, I use Nightbot primarily for
You said like
for it
blacklisting
to
words
leave
and
messages
links.
in the chat. And then if you want to have like a little talking, obviously you want to connect these all to Twitch or I guess
YouTube and Twitch,
as well.
Right?
You can connect them to both.
It's
For
Kappa.
me, here I'm pasting it right now to you. So you have the link. This one you can get free ones, or you can pay a few dollars to get like a different looking one. So like my cat can technically be different. He can be different colors if I wanted to. Like I had to buy I got his default for free, but then had to buy his mutation, which is a different color. These are fun to have because like it's like a little pet that you can have. So I originally got this one because in Sea of Thieves I have a cat and he looks exactly like my cat. So when I'm not playing Sea of Thieves, he's obviously there, which is funny. Now you can own multiple ones, but really, you only really need one. But you can see like what kinds they have. Let me see. God, how do I get to the link? I'm trying to figure out how to get to the marketplace. Duh. So they have different ones, and each of them have different actions. Like I was so close to buying this little raptor one. So you could do stuff like that, and each of them have their own set of like their animations. So like for my cat one, which is this one, he can dance, he can like eat and stuff like that. Sorry, I am just like, I'm losing my voice. But yeah, there's different ones that you can pick from that are free, and then if you want to get like the different color variant, it says mutation, you know, you can do that. Like this one, like this little robot one's, I guess, completely free. So, but like it's not that bad. It's not that much either. It's just personally on you. Eventually, what I'm gonna do, if I can get like custom animation of like my actual whatchamacallit, my mascot, then I'm eventually gonna put something over it so it covers up the kappa, but it still does the little messages. So if someone enters the chat, he'll say, "Oh, hi, blah blah blah." Or I also have it where he says different things, like if someone like donates, it says, "Oh, thank you for the bits," or blah 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 kind of thing, or "Thank you for the follow." So once you have yours, then you can go to your command list, and basically you can have it. You can change it out to what they say and how they react. So like if someone subs or resubs, it gives them a little present to open. And then I even have a custom one where it if people, if they type in the chat, they type in feed acoustic, it'll automatically feed him just for the fun of it, which no one does, and I'm surprised Vinny doesn't do it. He's a horrible person for not feeding my cat. Anyway, but basically, you can do that. You can have the autos, the triggers, or you can have it where it's scheduled for when people. I have it where every 1,800 seconds, he automatically says, "Oh, feel free to subscribe or use bits," and so he does a little dance like every now and then, talking about it. So, it's completely up to you and how you want to go about it.
Right.
But that's just some like things that you can mess around with.
Right.
If you want to like find something that captures people, like a lot of people liked it when I put my cat into my stream. So, but yeah, that's basically what I use.
Nice.
But the most important part is for sure checking your settings and making sure your computer is always up to date.
Okay. So just kind of being diligent with it.
Yeah.
Are you following the stream chat? He's having a conversation with us at the moment.
I can't see the stream chat because I've been going back and forth with.
So he says, "I can't do anything if you're not live. You don't give me the list of all commands. So how should I know what he can and can't do?" Lol. That's a fair point, man.
Shut up, Vinny.
That's a fair point.
Hey, he knows he can feed acoustic. He's seen it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, as I said, it's all just based off of you, how you want to do it. If you want to like crop certain things, if you want to. Oh, you're talking to Tech. Nice. Tech is cool. He's a good friend of mine.
Well, I mean, I guess just a message we've had at some point. I don't even know who that is. Probably like I don't know. Whatever.
He's my #1 fan.
Cool.
I still owe him bathwater.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. But hey. But
right.
Yeah, that's I guess really the ins and outs of like the basics. As I said, there's some other things that you can look into, but they're just not that important.
Right.
Another thing is though, it is super important that you do edit your stream to match your game. So one of my friends, and this kind of ticks me off when I see it when he plays and streams, he'll play 3 different games in the same stream, and in his stream it just says as the title, Sea of Thieves, Bayonetta, and blah 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 and stuff like that. He'll list all 3 things rather than just like changing them out, because then it's like if people click on that, it's gonna confuse them.
Right. So it's like always good to change like the game you're playing. It's like, you're playing this, change the title and all that.
Yeah, so
right.
What you do, so on Streamlabs you can do that. You can go on here and you can click on this pencil here that you can change it throughout the stream.
Right, and that is...
You can also do that, yeah, that little pencil.
Gotcha.
And then here, you can also do it on the stream manager of Twitch. So what I do, because obviously when you go live, it automatically brings up the message, "Oh, tell me what game you're playing." what do you want to say? Because mine's connected to my Twitter. It says, what do you want to tweet out when you go live? So you can adjust it through there. But then what I do after is that if I switch between games on my stream, I'll then use the stream manager to edit the stream info and be like, okay, it's basically the same setup. Or I'm like, okay, I'm not playing Super Mario 64. I'm playing Sea of Thieves. Now I'm going to type in Sea of Thieves, and now it found it. You know, and I'll click on that. There have been times where I slipped up on accident where I completely didn't like change the actual category of the game. But you can always go back when you edit your streams.
Right.
Or at least you might have this capability. I don't remember if you get it after you become affiliate. But you can always go back on your recent broadcast and change it.
Okay.
Also, it saves your streams and chapters, so it'll recognize if you went from Mario Party to Mario Kart. It'll know specifically when you switched your stream info.
Right.
So when people log in and they be like, oh, this Nick played 2 games. Let me see. He played Mario Party. Well, I don't really want to watch Mario Party. I'm just going to skip to the Mario Kart part. They'll then click on the Mario Kart. And it'll automatically do it to where you actually changed it physically on your stream info. What you when you did your Mario Kart and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's important to make sure you're always doing, because if you edit your stream info, it'll mark it. So if people don't want to watch you play Mario Party, but they want to watch you play Mario Kart, but they missed your broadcast and want to rewatch it, they'll already know when you did it. Rather than having to sit there and click and drag and try to find where in the stream you switched your games.
Right.
You should have the capability of doing that also on your stream manager on your phone. Let me see. Yeah, you can also do that on your phone or a tablet. So if you do get your tablet device, you'll be able to switch it too. So I do have that option on my phone. It says to do that, and then you just hit update and so on and so on.
Okay.
So that's also really important. I would recommend, you try to get something catchy. You can just put the title of the game. So let's say you can't think of a title for Mario Kart. You just write Mario Kart, that's it. You can do that. There are people who do that. For me, I like to be goofy. So for me, I like to be like, oh, watch me fall off Rainbow Road. Or for me, when I play Mario 64, I write, oh, I suck at this game as my title.
Right.
So it's just up to you. A lot of people they try to look for a good title kind of thing to get their interest, like a hook.
Right.
So when I made mine, oh, I suck at this game, people are like, oh, I want to see how bad she is. I got a message about it. I was like, damn, people really want to see me how bad I am at this game.
I mean, there you go. That's one way to get your fans interested, I suppose.
Yeah, that's basically it, really. And then just make sure, as I said, you don't have a lot of things open, because it will slow your streaming down or your computer and its output.
Right. So let's say right now I'm obviously running WoW, but I also have
I also see it on my end, so there's a good chance it could possibly slow your stream down.
Right.
It may not be at its full capacity of the best of where it can be.
Right.
So just stuff like that. What I did when I was playing BioShock, because I play BioShock with Vinny so he can watch me do live commentary since he's never technically seen it.
Right.
I have it where I'm streaming, but I do know it does slow my computer down, so I have to make sure everything else on my computer is completely shut off. Because I do have to stream it to him, but because my computer is technically streaming it to 2 different areas.
Okay.
So, but if you're in a call, it's not as bad or anything like that.
Right.
But as I said, something you're rarely streaming, then you got to be careful what you're doing.
So for example, if I were to hop onto my phone and go to, I don't know, I'm assuming I have Twitch on my phone. Where is it here? God. And of course I'd be doing this on my tablet instead.
Yeah.
Later down the road. I guess I don't have it on my phone. That's as easy as a quick download. But yeah, that I can manage. Of course, with this here just being windowed, that's fine. But with some of the other games, for example, Among Us or Fall Guys, it's easier just to do it because I can't really adjust the size of the screen like I can with WoW, because it doesn't allow me to like move the cursor off of the window itself. That it's just easier to do it with the multi-screen of using 2 devices.
Yeah, you'll pick up like what games can and cannot do. Like Sea of Thieves allows me to click out,
Yeah.
click out of the window, and they'll still play the music. But something like Fall Guys, like
Right.
it doesn't let you like if you click out of that window, the music drops and everything. Like it's completely silent.
There you go.
And then other games where it just I forget. There was another game I was playing where it completely freezes if I click out of the window. Like BioShock does that. If I click out of BioShock, it'll completely freeze the game until I click back in. So each one is different. Like Overwatch actually does offer a borderless window option where it is full screen, but then it's like you don't have like the window. While some of them it's either you go full screen or you go window. The game itself, when you're capturing it though from your actual OBS, your Streamlab will record like as if it's full screen. So your people won't see it the way you're seeing it with like seeing, you know, the minimize and X button.
Right.
But you will.
Like I can see here that if I were to go over Streamlabs, I can see that it's full screen for the stream, but like obviously I just switched to the thing here, and it's just like it's a windowed thing for myself, which is fine. That works.
See, at that point, I'd recommend then, like, if you do have like a separate device, then just go full screen, so you don't have to, you know, bother yourself with that.
Right, which I think that'll be my option, because it's like I can always just unplug my Switch and TV and put it like my TV's not always there. I usually put it in the corner of my screen on top of like a dresser, and then I watch TV there. Planning on getting like a beanbag chair, and then like I have Crunchyroll, Hulu, Disney Plus, all those nice services, and it's fun. It's pleasant. But at the same time, it's like, it is what it is. Because it's not a big TV.
Yeah, it just depends on how you want to project it, because then, like, if your computer's capable of making your TV, like, a second monitor,
right,
you can do that. Like, my goal is to eventually, if I move out, like, I buy myself a TV and have it as my third monitor, because I can hold up to, like,
I'm pretty sure my thing
monitors
can, I'm pretty sure my computer can go at least up to 3 monitors, if not 4. It's not, it would not be a challenge for this computer.
Because then you can click and drag the window and stuff like that.
Yeah. Alright. Profession trainer, where is the enchanting trainer? In the apothecarium? God. No! Classic WoW, everything takes time to run around.
I really want to play this game at some point.
You really want to play this game?
When I have the money, I do.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. My suggestion...
Is it true you have to pay a monthly subscription to play, or is it once you own the game, you own the game?
You know, now I'm going to help you. Alright, you focus on what I'm doing now. Alright, I'm going to log out of this and I will show you how that works. Alright, so... let's see here. Or you can... actually, just go to PC setup. So,
by the way, you can always get rid of your old setups if you don't want them anymore.
Right. I'm going to stop streaming now because I think you've pretty much helped me out with my streaming stuff, which is good. So...